This is going to be an informal roundtable discussion. We have some esteemed guests with us today. I have a few of my staff colleagues on the phone. We have 5 AmeriCorps members, and we have one of our champions and investors, Deborah Amini, with us today. This conversation is an opportunity for our champions and stakeholders to hear a bit about the service that our AmeriCorps members do, especially in this new environment, and for Deborah to share kind of why she supports the organization as a champion and a donor. I'm not going to direct a question at anyone specifically because we want this to kind of flow organically, and we truly want to hear from you.
So for me, I derive a lot of personal meaning from like my ability to help other people or serve other people. So for the past 3 years after college, I was working in a kitchen, and I found it really unrewarding because while I was, helping people eat good food, I wasn't helping people like achieve kind of their goals or help them find meaning in a way. So it was really important for me to make that shift in my life and kind of do something that could allow other people to feel more empowered in themselves.
I chose to do a city year because last year upon graduating, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just knew that I had a heart for getting out there and just like traveling and being able to help people. And so I thought this was kind of like the best of both worlds, by going into like an underserved community, into an underserved school, and just being able to do that. And so, I mean, no one really wants to go to college in the middle of a pandemic anyway. I hear all my friends that are freshmen in colleges now that are just like kind of struggling and doing this whole virtualness. And I thought, like, why not? Like these kids actually need help. Like they've been out since March. And so, I mean, I'm sure y'all hear this all the time, but like, I feel like now they need us more than ever, because I feel like we're just making a bigger impact because of that. And so that's why I chose to serve.
So this is my second year. The first year that I decided to initially like start with City Year, I was graduating college, and I was like, I really don't want to go to like a regular 9 to 5. Like that does not seem rewarding to me at all. And so I was trying to figure out. And during a grad fair, I found this nice little City Year representative, and she gave me a pamphlet, and I went online and kind of just researched City Year, and I just immediately like connected with the values of City Year. I read some of like the founding stories and things like that, and I was like, dang, like, yeah, I want to be a part of this. And it honestly, like when I first signed up, I thought it was going to just be like me, like tutoring some students, being like, hey, like encouraging them and everything. But it's also like a lot more than that as well. And so it was really rewarding the first year. And then when everything happened with like COVID and just everything happening in the world right now, I just knew that like doing a second year was what I wanted to do as well, continue that service.
So nothing's more challenging than just like seeing kids like just not show up to school. And so that's what was happening in the beginning. So as we were transitioning over from virtual learning to and school learning, we had a roster of kids, and it was that roster of kids that weren't showing up. And so it was a challenge, and it was like sad to see, because over time, like they were starting to get kicked off the system. And so like the stats were showing how kids were like getting unenrolled from schools and whatnot. But our job as City or AmeriCorps members is to be making those phone calls and reaching out to students and figuring out why they're not showing up to school. And so for us to do that and start seeing kids start to finally show up, nothing is more rewarding than that. So you can see how that went from a challenge to reward in just a matter of time. But it's a lot of challenges, a lot of rewards that come out of it. A lot of the rewards we might not see or realize, but over time, you'll see the impact.
I mean, me as a City Year in the classroom, my role is to check over the chat while the teacher is teaching, and that's pretty much what I do in class. And I thought it wasn't at first like making much of a difference, but over time when we do like small groups and I interact with the kids more, talk to them more, I do notice that they sometimes tell me things that they wouldn't tell the teacher, like, I really don't understand this. And then that's when I can go in and like, look, you go here, you go here. Like I explained to them what maybe they were too shy or too afraid to say, like in the whole group, in the whole class.
I found that increasingly students kind of like, as my co and I are more kind of jovial and forthcoming, like the students will match that. But it was really difficult to get to that place at first. But finally we have like some students coming on camera, which like they never did for the first month or so. One like showed us his grandma's chihuahua, just like little things like that that really like show increased engagement, and that like they're a lot more excited to be in that space than they were initially. So that's been really awesome to see.
For me, I think I know I'm making a difference because of all of the small actions that I take every day, like saying hi to a student or just smiling, things like that. Like, especially during these times when it's just so hard and everybody's struggling. I think those small actions, like even one day, like makes a difference.
My teacher, she was like, I don't know if I ever like tell you or if I don't like show you, but like you literally like you like lift like weights off of my shoulder.
Going into City Year, just graduating from high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And then throughout this year, I've been making new friends who have all pretty much all graduated. Like everyone in City Year has pretty much like all graduated from college already. And so seeing that, and then just seeing the importance of education and everything like that, and just seeing like all the impact that I can make that I didn't know I could make, I decided that I'm gonna be going to college next year and going into like foreign service or something like that outside the United States. I mean, there's a lot of problems inside the United States that we need to fix, but there's a lot of problems outside the United States that we could also fix. And so I just like really like the idea of making a change, and City has taught me that that's possible just by even little changes that you do.
I am going to switch over to asking Deborah a few questions. Deborah, I have about 3 questions for you.
You all are young people and you completely understand the definition of service, the definition of selfless. You are why. You are exactly why my husband and I are involved in organizations like City Year. I was involved in homelessness for years. And the one thing that resonated with each of the mothers who were homeless with young children was education was the great equalizer. So after 10 years on the board of SAM Ministries, it became evident to me that education was the key. And so my husband and I have been supporting education in San Antonio in an attempt to raise the level of education and equalize that for all children in our city. So you all are so inspiring to me, and it's because of your leadership and what you learn at City Year that's inspiring to me. It's your 25th anniversary year this year, and while this is a really exciting milestone for the organization and lots to celebrate in that, we also know that, as you all have talked about, this is an unprecedented school year for our children, an unprecedented time. Research indicates that with COVID, there's been a significant learning loss with children as a result of it, and which is expected, to exacerbate. There's already inequity in the inner city in our schools, and I think this has increased it dramatically. Rex and I have committed to City Year a matching grant, a challenge grant of $150,000 in support of your work. And so any match from $1 to $150,000, we are committed to match by the end of October. So at this point, I think we're halfway through that, Kelly, I believe, and we've to date raised 50%. Difficult times in San Antonio, I think, for everyone, but we're grateful, to friends and family who have helped us raise $75,000, but would love personally to fully match the $150,000. So, anyone who's listening, it doesn't matter how small or how large a gift, we're incredibly grateful for the work that City Year does, and we'd love you to partner with us on that. San Antonio children need our support now more than ever. And so we think the work that City Year does is unparalleled in what they do. And so we hope that citizens in San Antonio and friends and family will come alongside that work. San Antonio Independent School District has made major strides in the last 5 years under the leadership of Pedro Martinez. And I know in large part that's because of the partners like you that he has partnered with. So I thank City Year for the work that you do, and I thank each and every one of you for your commitment to service. Kelly, thank you for the leadership. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for your passion. At this point in my life and in Rex's life, we're just grateful that we are involved in people like you who are doing incredible work. Thank you so much.